welcome to
IOYO.
which stands for.
I'm okay, you're okay.
I am A.O. Xander,
Golden Loon.
and you're you. Sorry for the rough opening. It's been a while since doing any type of show.
Yeah.
So pardon the roughness, but yeah, we'll get through it and have some good times. Anyway, today is Sunday, aka Sunday, August 3rd, 2025.
First Sunday of the month.
First Sunday of the month. Yeah, we're back on track. It only took 3 months, quarter of a year. And, this dang foxhole has got me by the gonads, so...
Yeah, he's starting to try to shoot you. You know where it's coming from. Foxhole.
Yep. Anyway, so let's get into it. Well, first off, let's talk about what is the mentality. Like, not IOYO, not I'm okay, you're okay as a show, but what is the concept of that as a mental faculty?
Well, I think it's been so long since we did our last show that we should probably repeat this if we said it before. Basically, it's people should be able to have different opinions and still walk away friends. Or at least respecting the other. If you're not friends, at least the respect.
Yeah.
Instead of this hate that goes down because you don't believe what I do. And that's the whole point of the show.
Yeah, stop with the divisiveness. Look at what you have in common, and if you can't agree, at least agree to disagree, and then move on with your life.
Yeah.
You have the rest of your life to live. Why are you wasting time being mad at somebody over something as paltry as an opinion?
And what kind of brings that whole thing together, I heard a term that really stuck with me just the other day, and it was diversity is not our strength, unity is our strength.
I agree.
You can have difference of opinions and still be united.
Yes.
That's the point of the whole thing.
Yes. See, like, there's always going to be differences, but there's always going to be similarities. Why are we focusing so much on what tears us apart and not brings us together?
There you go.
Come on.
Yeah.
So
the first topic we're talking about is a new commercial, and there's a big uproar about it with jeans.
Good jeans commercial. Here we go. Sydney Sweeney's good jeans ad. The American Eagle. Okay. So, and like, should we play it? I mean, it's already out there.
It's up to you. I don't know if you're allowed to do that or not.
I mean, like, it's a commercial, so if anything, we're giving them free advertisement. It's already out there, so it's not like we're whistleblowing on anything. So by all accounts, we shouldn't be getting attacked. Normally, but it is 2025, so let's...
Genes are passed down from parents to...
Then we can cut it off if you want.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. The way she says it, also, like, I forgot to mention it. So let's just watch this, and I think you might change your tune on your opinion on this.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
So the way she said it, like, she's talking about genes as in genetics, and then they're using a play on words to advertise genes, and I can, not to sound like one of these nut jobs, but I can see where they're coming from and kind of agree with them. This is not cool,
I got you. Well, the play here on words is genes, G-E, not
J-E-A-N-S, not.
And she says, my genes are blue, meaning blue eyes.
Well, yeah, but also her blue jeans.
That's the play on words.
But it's not just play on words. Like, the whole thing, she's talking about genetics at the beginning, and then she's like, blah, 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 like hair color and eye color, and then she says, my genes are blue. So she might be talking about her genes or her genes in her eyes. Yeah. Like, it's so up to interpretation that either side has a stance.
Yeah.
This was just a stupid commercial. This was a stupid move.
I don't think so.
Well, no, with how...
First off, what stunned me was $59.99 for a pair of jeans. Are you kidding me? Wow, my eyes lit up.
Well, that makes me wonder what sweatshop they're operating out of.
Well, that's what you'd like to dig in and say, okay.
Is this from China? You know? Oh.
Exactly. What are the conditions of the workers on this if you want to get into... socialism type generic, but here's
not
my
just
point. Not socialism, but I mean
just
unfair labor practices.
Yes.
Let's say. But here's my point on anything. These jeans with this ad have totally sold out.
Well,
they're
of
gone.
course.
They're out of stock.
It's
They're gone.
It's kind
You
of
can't
like
get
a.
them if you want them.
It's like
unless
a.
you go on the black market. So,
It's like a meme
as far
of
as
sorts,
commercials
so.
go, it's a huge success.
Oh, absolutely.
Huge success.
I'm just
We're
saying.
talking about it.
I'm just
Holy
saying.
cow.
Like culturally, it was a really like you're throwing a gasoline can into a fire, culturally with this.
Yeah.
So I mean, is it effective? Yes. I mean, obviously, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, for once, well, actually, once in a blue moon, I actually agree with the crazed masses. So
Let's pose this scenario. Come out with another commercial with a beautiful black woman. Any stink? Now you can't use the blue eyes, but you could maybe come out with some colored jeans or black jeans, or whatever, and you could do all kinds of same exact things, but it'd be a beautiful black woman.
Yeah, I just
I
realized
still
on
have
YouTube,
no problem with that either.
I just realized on YouTube the audio wasn't set. So anyone watching on YouTube, sorry about that. You can watch the beginning though over on Rumble. So
Okay.
I gotta put that in the description. Anyway, carry on.
And that's all I'm saying. You change the script, maybe come out with a colored jeans or something. You put a beautiful black woman in there,
Okay.
and you come up with the same entendres of language.
I'll be right back. Keep talking.
And anybody complain about that? I don't know. I think it's a blue-eyed white girl that's the problem. I have no qualms with it one way or another. And like I said earlier, this is sold out to jeans. It's been a huge success as far as commercials go.
They're quite faded, but I have black jeans.
All that. Holy cow! But you know what I'm saying.
You know how I am with bits.
I just don't understand. I do understand, unfortunately, the uproar with it.
Yeah.
And I just think they're wrong. Now you think you don't like this, and they have something worthwhile to say about that. I get that.
Is it ridiculous? Yes, but at the same time, with how everything is in today's world, just like we don't need to give them any more ammo to get mad about, and that's exactly what this did. They utilize societal stigmas and cultural, like current like cultural normalities to poke poke the bear metaphorically.
Well, let's flip the switch. There was a beer a year or so ago.
Oh, the Dylan Mulvaney thing.
Well, yeah, I wasn't even going to bring
Bud
up
Light,
who.
well-
But and here's the point. Like it, not like it, doesn't matter. It was a total flop, commercial-wise. Tank it. Didn't work. Go on to something else. But that one was so bad, they're trying to save their brand. Maybe they have already. I don't know.
Oh.
But that's the point. I say it sold jeans. I don't like sex sells, but it does.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't
I mean,
see
like,
anything risque about this other than blue-eyed,
Well, you want to talk about
blonde-haired
sex
woman.
sells? Look at Carl's Jr. commercials, like
Scantily
scantily clad, supermodels sprawled out on cars, covered in soap and suds,
Yeah.
and then eating a burger,
And it sold burgers.
and that disgusts me.
Yeah, not good, but commercials are there to sell.
They pander to the lowest common denominator, the stupid schmuck
Now-
out there who just thinks with his other head. So
Let me pose a question to you on these jeans. Do you think in long term it's going to hurt them? Okay, they sold their jeans out like crazy. Then there's a group of society that just went ballistic about it, and they're in an uproar. I wonder if the company will make more commercials, something like this, or are they going to flip and try to satisfy everybody? And the second part of that is, will it affect the sales long term?
I can't really say. I mean, I can say
you can't.
from
I'm just throwing stuff up in the air.
from me personally, like, I don't have anything against American Eagle Outfitters other than their abbreviation being my name. AEO.
Oh,
American Eagle Outfitters.
okay.
So, but I mean, but this was really stirring the pot. They knew what they were doing, and they got the results they were looking for. They're lucky that they didn't, exceed. Then again, cancel culture is kind of over. You know,
Well,
if
there's
they-
the next question.
If this
Are we
had been,
moving on
if this
from
had been,
what we've had before?
if this had been a year ago,
even 2 years,
It,
especially
well,
2 years
if this
ago.
would have been was 2 years ago, for sure they would have gotten their teeth kicked in online.
I don't think they would have made this commercial
no,
2 years ago.
no, absolutely not. But yeah, this might actually be a sign of change.
What's going on here?
This is our
Delay?
live stream. This is what people see.
Oh, okay.
So anybody asking, like, we have 2 monitors right here. So like
Ah.
we're watching the show on the other monitor to check out for comments and
Yeah.
if there's any lag or anything like that. So
Anyways, commercials are there to sell. Some work, some bomb, and it's all about timing. Like we just said, 2 years ago, they wouldn't dare put this out.
yeah.
So it's all about what's going to sell for you. And I don't particularly like the idea that sex sells, but that's on society.
Yeah, well, that's people. Like, at the end of the day, we have our lizard brain, we have our monkey brain. Ooh, titties.
Yeah.
Like, so
Who
essentially,
doesn't like them?
homosexuals.
It depends on what side of the coin you're on, which gender.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But yeah, moving on from there, you had another topic you wanted to go on
yeah.
about. Communism, genes.
we're talking. No. We're talking.
What is-
The topic would be. Hold on. If you had
a perfect world.
If you had
Oh.
perfect communism, and I don't think there's any such thing of it because someone has to have power, but if everybody had perfect communism, everything's equal, everything is,
Then we'd be a
you
hive
would,
mind.
then you would have a perfect world as
Now,
far as
see,
the human race.
Now, to give that some substance, he's coming from a conversation we had earlier, and I
Yeah,
argued.
just touched on it. We didn't really go
Well,
through
I
it.
argued that communism on paper is utopia. The problem is the people, not the politics, because the creations of mankind are only as good as those who wield it. And at the end of the day, we're always, greedy, we're selfish, we're envious, all sorts of things. Just basic human. Once again, the lizard brain, the monkey brain. Ooh, shiny. I want my shiny. Communism doesn't work for people, not because the system is flawed, which it is through people, but the people are the problem. The people are the problem in capitalism. The people are the problem in everything. Everything in this world that has a problem, you can put it back down to a human being.
Well,
So
of course, your theory on paper, I understand.
yes, in practice is another
it
story.
It could never ever work for this species.
Because we cannot not be greedy. We cannot be selfish. It is human nature. Like, to ascend.
Well, it's not
to-
even greedy, or it's way more than that. It's we have self-identity, and once you have self-identity, you're never going to identify as the whole.
Yeah.
And the only way the perfect on paper communist system is going to work.
Well, not
is
perfect
only
communism, but it's just any perfect government. This is not just about communism. It's about any form of governments. My argument is anything that exists.
Okay. Okay, and that's why we've been so successful, because the type of species we are have benefited what we are. It's not a perfect system by any stretch.
Well, the only time we actually make technological advances is when we're trying to kill each other.
Well, they come up faster out of need. There you go.
Well, I mean, take for example penicillin. Okay, they discovered penicillin in 1926, but it wasn't until 1944 before they even realized how good it was, because this one medic, or this one guy wanted to bring it in during the Normandy invasions, and penicillin was used to treat, as part of the whole treatment to all the wounded soldiers on the beach, and it saved thousands, tens of thousands of people that would have otherwise died due to infection and everything. And that's when we're in conflict, we figure out, but if it wasn't for that, penicillin would have just vanished into history, probably, or some other
look at
something.
A good example of that is, and it has to be a major conflict to really see those differences. World War II, before, and in the United States, before, after.
Yeah.
The technology that came out
Oh
of the war.
my God.
Is just unthinkable.
Yeah, no, it's basically like we've been going through like a huge technological advancement over the past 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You can say ever since the Industrial Revolution, everything's kind of been like progressively quicker and quicker. There's a word for it, but like within those 4 years of World War II, or 5 years, or however long it took.
Right.
Well, our involvement was from 41 to 45,
Right.
so we've about 4 years.
Yeah.
But it was like 20 some odd years of advancement in just a quarter of the time.
Oh.
Because of the necessity to kill people. I mean, there would not be a space program if it wasn't for World War II. There would not be aviation if it wasn't for World War I. We'd still be on the ground. There would not be motorized vehicles, really. I mean, like, yeah, they came out before the war, but as everything, like, you know, it just, you know, refrigeration, just everything, just the humanity is capable of so much goodness, but the only time we're at our best is when we're at our worst. They work hand in hand, unfortunately.
I'll give you a different example, though. You can look at the explosion of advancement for China from the war to today.
Well, that's mainly because of us.
Yes, we put out a helping hand,
and then they bit it, and they keep biting it.
And if we had just left them alone, they'd be 50, 60 years behind where they are.
Maybe
today.
that would have been a better move.
Well, hindsight's 2020. But anyways, getting back to my point, the species could never, ever tolerate a perfect system.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we were just watching The Matrix. Like, remember one of the earlier Matrixes they had was a utopia, and everybody started reacting negatively to it.
Yeah.
And everything, and then they lost entire crops.
Yeah.
Everything. Humans cannot function without some sort of problem.
Yeah.
We need something to overcome. And like, you know, look at the world today. Like the Western society, like the first world, as we like to call it, is living in Caligula Rome. We're bored. We have nothing to do. All of our needs are met. All of our wants are met. Now we're trying to look for problems that don't exist so we can feel better about ourselves to solve them. That's where we're at societally.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, we have things like that Gene commercial.
But that's better than utopian socialism, where you have no identity.
Yeah.
And you just go along. Your identity is the whole. You talk about horrible. Only because we have identity and you can't think of it without it.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all humans on this planet, and one way or another, we're all like, well, not all of us, but we are a communal species, you know, just by nature. And through, once again, all the, like, especially since the Industrial Revolution and everything, humans have become just cogs in a machine. We are individuals, but functionally, we act like ants. Like, at the end of the day, we don't act no, like, at the end of the day, we're all just numbers in the eyes of the government or whatever it is, and we're all just here to do something until we're no longer useful, and then we retire, and then they let us go. Like you know, the whole thing, you know, from birth until you're 18, you're useless, and then once you're 18 until 65, you actually have value, and once you're 65, you might as well die in the eyes of the system. How is that any different than how an ant works?
Because that's not our system. That's a variance of your perfect system that isn't perfect.
It's not my perfect system. It's that the humanity cannot function without an obstacle to overcome.
And that's probably why in this country we're so successful, because individually we have to overcome diversity, because we don't have that take care of you from cradle to grave. Once you have that, you got nothing.
Yeah.
Because you have to have that diversity.
It
makes you grow.
Yeah. You know, like, you know, diversity of everything. You know, like of you know, a belief.
What tests you to the max makes you a better person.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. If you're on easy street, silver spoon in your mouth, you don't. Well,
like, once again, as I said, humanity needs adversity to overcome to give us a purpose in this world. If we don't have something to fight, we'll find something to fight, and we'll make up our own problems. And once again, the Gene commercial, you know, That's a product of everybody losing their collective shit. Pardon my language. You know.
Well, as far as the jean commercial, I think whoever came up with that commercial deserves a big, huge bonus, whether I like it or not.
Whoever came up with
They
that commercial,
sold jeans.
whoever came up with that commercial is a grade A troll. That's for sure. So,
not quite sure what that means. But.
Well, you know, like they like to stir the pot.
Okay.
You know, like
I don't know if they thought they were going to stir the pot.
Of course they did. That's
play on words like that.
Absolutely. Are you out of your mind? That was the whole point. Is to get a reaction, good or bad.
You may be right. I didn't think of it from that.
Well, no, like they intentionally blur the lines between jeans, the pants, and jeans, the genetics.
Yeah.
They intentionally blur the line to get an outcome, whether it's outrage.
They're setting up the scenario to say.
Well, no, see, like they'll win either way. Either they'll get outraged and they'll get free publicity, or they'll sell out a product, and they were the latter. No matter what, they were going to win. They were just playing society's madness against itself, and we don't need any more of that. We need, as a world population, to calm the hell down and just focus on problems that actually matter. You know.
Again, I think if you put different color in it, it's a different scenario. But the point to me, the ad is very simple. With all the little entendres in there. Cute girl, cute jeans. Buy those jeans and you could be cute too.
Or you can get the girl you can buy the jeans and then you can attract a girl to wear them. I don't know how these sex-driven maniacs think. You know,
I think the irony is if you put
that commercial does not work on me. So.
Well, me neither, but I'm not buying the jeans. I'm not saying it works on me.
Neither am I.
I'm just saying the commercial worked. As some people that get cute, it doesn't work.
Now wait a minute. I just saw something. If I have black jeans, am I committing cultural appropriation?
A white man with black jeans.
Oh!
But you know what I'm saying with it.
Yeah.
Flip the color, and then there'd be no squawk.
Yeah.
So, which I think. So I guess I'm saying the people that are going crazy about it, whoever they are, pretty shallow.
That's a good point. If they had recruited a black model.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Earlier. And they came out with black jeans or something like that.
I don't think they would have sold. Nobody would care.
I disagree.
No,
I think it'd be hugely successful.
I don't know, because it would not get the response. It would just be another commercial, like, oh cool, black jeans, but they have a white person on TV. Oh, heaven forbid, because white.
But it's not just black jeans; it's the style of those jeans.
Yeah, well, I mean.
But they don't even use the blue jeans and still find other things in there that you can use trick words with and stuff. Anyways.
Yeah.
I just think the uproar about it, and I really don't know a whole lot about it to tell you the truth. I just think the uproar is a little shallow.
Now we have time to talk about one more subject. If you want to talk about this is a nice big one here. SpaceX working with the United States Space Force.
Yeah.
And let's see if I can. Should California, the California Coastal Commission, have the authority to intervene against the federal government, which is a military space force, involving environmental issues pertaining to rocket launches? Kind of like how Cape Canaveral out in Florida, there's like a whole bird sanctuary or something. There was a whole controversy when they expanded back in the 70s or whatever.
I don't remember.
So.
But this is a little different. This is the California Coastal Commission.
Well, this is involving.
It has a great deal of power.
Yeah. Why don't you talk? Why don't you fill us in?
So I guess the point is SpaceX, although they're not here, their headquarters are not here, and they're launching. I don't even know if they're launching out of Cape Canaveral anymore.
Well, no. I brought up Cape Canaveral. That's NASA. That's Florida.
Yeah, no, you're right. Up here, I've forgotten.
California, wherever the heck they were.
Wainimi is where they're out of, and I forget what it's called up there. Anyways, do they have the right to intervene with a private company because they're within the region of the California Commission, even though they're working with the United States military for security of the country, for satellites, whatever it is, military satellites, whatever it is, and they have contracts to launch them. So would the commission be able to shut that down if they felt that it wasn't good for the environment?
Well, there's an extra to this question here because to add on to what you're saying, should the states have the power versus the federal government? See Foundation of Our Nation, Convention of States.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, like,
well,
like,
the answer there, and it goes for the California Commission also, they do not have the authority because the federal government always overrules. That's the top law of the land. Federal, state, counties, and somewhere in there after the state is the commissions, things like that. So they wouldn't have the authority to shut down the United States military, even though it's a private enterprise. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I may be dead wrong, but that's my view of it.
now this reminds me.
So what I'm saying is the only way that can be superseded is through the
Convention of States.
Convention of States. The states have to get together and say, no, we're changing these federal laws. We have the right to do that through the Convention of States. Very, very difficult to form a Convention of States because you have to get a huge number of states to agree to participate in that.
Now that reminds me of something I was talking about when we were trying to figure out subjects, and we were talking about this initially last week.
Yeah.
I was always under the impression that the United States of America, now granted, like from our victory in 1781 until the actual founding of the United States of America in 1792 or something like that, there was roughly a 10-year period, give or take, where we were trying this, we were trying that. George Washington was the first president of the United States of America,
Right.
but he was not the first president of the concept of what we became. There was like a good 3, 4, 5 presidents of this during trying this and that out. So
Well, they were still debating whether it's
well,
go
but
back to
I'm getting to that
colonies.
point. Yeah, I'm getting to that point. Like, debating going back to individual colonies, city-state type things or whatever, like the way they were, or have a federal government as a system of checks and balances and they are representatives because they are a republic, to enforce things that the states agree with. Not necessarily unanimously, but majority in the very least.
Yeah.
So, as far as I was aware, I may be wrong, but the concept of the United States of America, since the conception of that thing, not the conception of like from the end of the war, no, like what we became, is that the states were in power and the feds were like what we all have as a system of checks and balances, what we all agree on as a community of states, but the feds were never supposed to be the ones to dictate.
no.
Like, it's the states who
The
say.
design is, and with all those checks and balances, because people were worried that the federal government, it was
Would get
split.
too big?
Would get too strong, too powerful.
Gee, I
They
wonder
were
why.
Right. They were right. So they put in all kinds of checks and balances, and the whole thing is designed for the states to run the states, with the government overseeing it and providing security.
Yes.
That's the whole point of it.
Yes.
And we've gone way away from that. That'll never come back.
Yeah. So we're going back to the original question: should California have the authority to intervene against federal government? I would say yes, because at the end of the day, the states should have not supreme power, but they don't like. The states have the power, and the government makes sure that they stay within like what everybody agrees to communally.
Okay.
If I'm making any sense.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got you. I say no. Absolutely should not have the right, because, and this is militarily, a particular issue we're doing. So, what they are doing in California is for the good of all the states. Therefore, California can't stop them, and therefore hurt the rest of the states.
Okay. Okay, now I can see that. I need to look more into it to really have a solidified opinion. Like,
I want an argument with you? Oh my God!
it's not really an argument. It's
not
just,
an argument.
It's
different
discussion.
thing. I know. Not
Yeah.
Argument.
You didn't win. We're just talking.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. There's no winning in it at all, and that's the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
I threw the show right out the door.
Your own show. Your own comment. Your own.
So anyways, that's
your
the
own
point.
concept. You're
We have a
stepping on
point.
your own toes.
I have to agree with what he was saying too, but it has to be superseded because of the security for all the states. So, anyways, it works. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And if we ended up not agreeing, it still doesn't matter. We still respect each other's opinions.
But at the same time, now you're giving a private entity, a company, a corporation, SpaceX, the ability to buddy with the government and start bullying the states.
Well,
like there's always a side door.
yeah, that's the problem with private runs coming along, but the government can't turn it down either because they get it done so much cheaper. They do it for a tenth the cost that the government can do it for.
And
How
you
can
also
they say no?
And you also get what you pay for.
Yeah, but
So,
you got to watch your bulleting because they can pull that ticket from you and say no, you don't have that right to do it anymore, and then it all falls down.
this is a hard topic.
Yeah, but you good point. Anytime you got a private company in the mix,
I mean,
it
like
becomes more and
look
more
at look at
complex.
how look at how the government used private enterprise to force the whole mask mandate thing. During the whole the 2020s.
They just mandated it. They didn't use it. They mandated it.
Yeah,
to
exactly. But
private
the
companies.
government can't pass a law to force you to do that. But if they're friends in charge of all these private companies that can do whatever they want, they all start mandating. All of a sudden, we start having people in droves losing their jobs because they're not putting something over their face or putting something
So
experimental in their
how
arm.
did they pull that off
By
without laws?
by having all the corporations.
They coerced them.
Yes.
Because it wasn't passed in Congress. Or
No,
anything like
that
It's
would
under
be
the government.
unconstitutional
Yeah.
to do that. So they
They went around.
circumvent the
They
Constitution.
threatened.
Yeah, they circumvent the Constitution by utilizing, and for whatever reason, we view corporations as private citizens. And I know you're going to disagree with me because you said no, but I've looked this up. Like let's say if Jeff Bezos wants to vote, he can vote as Jeff Bezos, and then he can vote a second time as Amazon, as a company.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can. These companies, they have the same rights as private citizens, including voting.
No.
Yes, they do.
Excluding voting.
Including voting.
They cannot. A corporation cannot vote.
You know what? Let's look this up
I
here.
should have 2 votes, and I don't.
What are stockholder voting rights, and who gets a
Stockholder's
stockholder?
a different thing.
And a corporation votes in
National elections.
national. Can corporations vote in general elections? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Vote registration status checking. Okay, here we go. Delaware House approves bill allowing business entities to vote in towns' municipal elections.
Okay,
And that's just one example.
but that's a municipal situation.
Okay. Citizens United gave corporations but not their boards. Can corporations vote in presidential elections? What is this? Only citizens can vote, not all persons. Downvoted. Okay, blah, 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 directly.
Only citizens can vote. A corporation is not a
A
citizen.
corporation is
It's
a
an entity
citizen.
to itself. It's not a citizen. No.
Well, anyway, what was my original point?
I don't know. We kind of got off on this.
Anyway, we've been on for about a half hour.
Yeah.
It's been a good show.
It's a good show.
So,
A couple nice topics.
yeah. We have no comments. We have 3 viewers now. Do we have anything on YouTube? No. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up
Yeah.
here.
I liked it. Do it again.
Yeah. We have this show the first month or the first Sunday of every month.
Yeah. And if it goes well, we'll do it every Sunday.
Yeah.
But that's down the road.
For all you know of us, I'm A.O. Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you, viewer, thank you so much for coming in and watching. Whether it was live or at some other point in the space-time continuum is irrelevant. The views of you, please,
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Please leave a comment, in the comment section and keep the dialogue going.
I'd really like to hear from
We
some
might
people.
be, we might extend this into the next episode, as a continuation, like last time on Dragon Ball Z type thing,
I think it'd be a good idea. Anybody does comment,
Yeah.
maybe to bring it up
So-
to say last show this, and then we'll go on to new stuff.
Yep. Don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs and subscribe, and until next time, toodles!
Sorry.
I thought I hit your eye. Scared the hell out of me.
Well, that's a good send off.
Yeah.